Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 161, Princess Visit. With Phiro advancing at a slow pace, we needed 4 days to reach the village. We turned the monsters in our path into food and our carriage journey advanced with no problems. All the slaves who ate my food for the first time had the same reaction. Was it really that delicious? By the way, Foal became sulky whereas Atla praised it greatly. The third night of our trip. Naofumi-sama, my apologies, but could you please change my bandages? Atla. I'll do that kind of thing. Foal. Well, I should apply a salve for skin disease while I'm at it. Naofumi. Damn, Foal. The medicine seemed to be working and Atla's skin improved, but she complained about itching, so I took off her bandages. Huh? It seems that the skin that had looked like it was burned has now healed. Naofumi. Why yet? Foal. Foal stared at his little sister with astonishment. Was this really such a surprising situation? Well, it was a marvelous recovery though. And so I removed the bandages covering her face and checked. Well, Raphtalia. When Raphtalia looked at her condition, her voice slipped out without thinking. It's unusual for Raphtalia to expose such behavior because she always maintains her silence when it's quiet. It isn't really that surprising though. The brother's face looked conceited, but even though I had been prepared for it, when I looked at the little sister, I was also surprised. Despite being a slave, her hair was glossy and her skin was smooth and pale. I wonder how old she is. Her brother looked about 12 or 13, so she should be younger than that. Her eyes were out of focus and her pupils were dilated. I knew that if a blind person had their eyes open, their eyes would be like this. That slave merchant said such unorthodox things, but isn't he selling slaves of this class for a different reason? Well, I should be saying this after the skin disease has recovered completely. I feel so refreshed. Naofumi-sama, thank you very much, for applying the salve for me. Atla. Naofumi. I'm lost for words. Raphtalia and Phiro can considered to be beautiful without being biased, but Atla is a beauty of a different class. She has a young appearance and yet, it could be said that she was as delicate as a doll. Oh, Atla has become so pretty. Foal. Are you the father of a bride the night before her wedding or something? It looks like the progression is going well. The salve isn't really necessary anymore. Naofumi. Is that so? Atla. The blind Atla touched her face with her hand. It's not rough anymore. Atla. So it seems. Naofumi. It's all thanks to Naofumi-sama. Thank you very much. Atla. Atla made a quick bow of her head. Don't worry about it. Naofumi. Another slave peeked at us from a crack in the carriage. I could hear a small voice exclaiming. Something about a beauty. She hasn't been completely cured yet, but she should be soon. As expected of the Yggdrasil medicine, the results are extraordinary. And there you have it, Foal. You understand, right, Naofumi? Yeah, Foal. Foal came to his senses with my words and nodded with vexation. I've healed his frail little sister to this extent. I will have him work wholeheartedly. Naofumi-sama. Atla. What is it? Naofumi. Please tell us, what will be awaiting us in the village that we're heading to? Raphtalia-san. Please teach us as well. Atla. When we journey in the carriage, I usually process monster parts, compound medicine, and also study magic, but I wasn't doing those things right now. Well, it's fine. The hell-like days of me working everyone hard are, Naofumi. Naofumi-sama. Raphtalia. Raphtalia was rather loud. I was only going to scare them a little. Raphtalia hates these kinds of pranks, doesn't she? Well, I have the feeling that I may have been the cause of that. Tisk. Let's see, Naofumi. Raphtalia and I told Atla about the other villagers and what would happen in the future. It may have been trivial, but when I thought about how healthy this frail girl had become, I thought it was good that I had learned to compound medicine. We've just returned, Naofumi. The slaves undertook Phiro's rite of passage when she decided to play around just before we reached the village, and by the time we arrived, they were completely exhausted. Ah, welcome back. I arrived earlier. Sadhana. How did Sadhana arrive ahead of us? Honestly, it's quite unexpected. She couldn't have been faster than Phiro. You were quick. Naofumi. Humph, if Fyro was being serious she would have arrived earlier. Fyro. What are you being so competitive for? Naofumi. Fyro glared at Sadana provokingly while muttering. Is it her pride as a mount? Such unnecessary. Sadana's not even a steed. Besides, Fyro had been giving a ride to lots of sick and inexperienced slaves. It would have been troubling if she had made a serious effort. Brother, are you alright? Atla. Why yet, I'm Finug, full. Unexpectedly, Atla appears to be good with motion sickness. Well, I'll have to reprimand Fyro later, for playing around when we've got sick people on board. So this is, Naofumi-sama's village, Atla. Despite being unable to see, Atla surveyed the village. Can you see? Naofumi. No, but the aura. Atla. Speaking of which, she's been saying that sort of thing for a while. It's amazing that she doesn't seem to be inconvenienced even though she's blind. I mean, aura. It's good that you've returned. I also have a mountain of things to report that I'm starting to get impatient. Female Knight. The female knight was there but Melty had also come along. Melty was almost angry enough for steam to come out of her head. So she's becoming hysterical again. Why did you leave even though Fyro told you I would be coming over to Naofumi-sama's place? Soon. Melty. Ah, now that you mention it, there was something like that. Naofumi. She was completely infuriated. Which reminds me, Melty was going to come and play. When I came to the village, Naofumi had already left and Fyro wasn't here either, so there was no reason for me to even be here. Melty. My bad, my bad. So, when are you leaving? Naofumi. Asking me when I'm going home after I've been waiting for so long, isn't there a limit to your insolence? Melty. But you're the princess. Naofumi. So what about me being a princess? Melty. What is with the next queen of a human nation coming to visit a demi-human village? I have proper orders from mother. Melty. Ah, so it's like that. Naofumi. It seems the queen was still plotting to set me up with Melty. Well, in her position, it would be best to win over the hero of the shield. So, how long are you staying? Naofumi. A long time. I was dispatched by mother to help out with Naofumi's land management. To go learn. To manage a village or town for the sake of the future, I've been forced to do such a troublesome job. Melty. Your parents are strange. In the head. Naofumi. Both her father and her mother were. She's superior to her elder sister at her age, but learning land management at this age is a lot of work. What's worse is that she might not have my obligation to push the demi-humans to grow rapidly. Shut up. I already know that. Melty. Alright, you go and play with Fyro. Naofumi. Why? Didn't you hear what I said? Melty. I did hear it, but, fair enough. Melty seems like she'll kick up a fuss again if I talk, so let's take some countermeasures against her. Hey Fyro, go and play with Melty-chan. Naofumi. Oka why? Fyro. Wei Fyro-cha, I haven't, talking with Naofumi, Melty. And so, Melty struggled while being dragged away by Fyro. With this, it should be quiet. As expected, Fyro is the best when it comes to Melty. How about treating Princess Melty a little kinder, Iwadani Dano? Female Knight. Our relationship is just like that. She's strong-willed. Naofumi. Is that so? She was really disappointed when she heard that Iwadani Dano wasn't here though. Female Knight. That's because Fyro wasn't here. They're good friends. Naofumi. I don't really think so, but I suppose it depends on Princess Melty's tenacity from here on. Female Knight. What are you talking about? Naofumi. Never mind. More importantly, I have some information to report. Female Knight. Did that woman and the brat finally cause a problem? Naofumi. By that I mean Rado and Tanako. Whenever I leave the village for a prolonged period of time, I expect something to happen. No, they're quite docile. Female Knight. Is that so? Naofumi. They seem to be joyfully playing with the monsters. Female Knight. Get to work. Naofumi. This passiveness is wrong. Why the hell are they playing around? Geez. They haven't caused any problems, but it's practically the same as doing nothing. So? What's the problem? Naofumi. It kind of concerns that woman, but come to the warehouse for a bit. Female Knight. What's there? Naofumi. Just come. Female Knight. Just wait a moment. Naofumi. After I watch the slaves dismount from the carriage, I call the village slaves over. And then I beckon to Imiya when she emerged from a hole. Is that a burro? Imiya, I've brought along some of your colleagues. Naofumi. Uncle. Imiya. Oh, it's really Imiya. You've grown. Limo slave. Imiya and another limo reunited with pleasure. Thank you very much, hero of the shield Sama. Imiya. He was the hero of the shield. Limo slave. Come to think of it, I hadn't told them. Imiya's family bowed their heads deeply. Their mood turned into admiration. There were also those who didn't care though. I'd like you guys to learn a variety of detailed-oriented tasks. Can I ask that? Naofumi. We owe you a debt of gratitude even if it costs us our lives. Limo slave. Is your hometown in Siltwelt? Naofumi. No. It's not, but the legend of the hero of the shield Sama is very well known and we've heard the rumors. Moreover, you've also let us meet with Imiya again. I don't know if it will be pleasant, but I wanted to let you to live in even a bit of comfort. Because of that, I'd like you to hang in there. Naofumi. Okay. Limo slave. And thus I ensured to a certain extent that I had some adept subordinates. I'll think about what they should learn later. Now then, all you new slaves, introduce yourselves, make some friends so that you can get accustomed to the village. Naofumi. Everyone started introducing themselves noisily. The village has become quite lively. Where shall we be residing? Octopus slave. One of the aquatic slaves inquired. Indeed, it would appear to be hard for them to live in a normal village? Or the camping plant houses? T/N, Naofumi is rather dubious about calling this a normal village, hence the question mark. You guys can live near the sea along with Sadana. Naofumi. Okay, octopus slave. The dolphin and octopus-like beastman nodded obediently. They're probably surprised to know that I'm the hero of the shield. You guys seem pretty dexterous. You'll also be allocated work soon, but I'd like you guys to level up. Enough to protect yourselves. Naofumi. I understand. Octopus. The octopus-like beastman assented with a wave of his hand and walked towards the ocean with his many legs. The dolphin, I hadn't really been looking, but if I compared his height with Sadana's, then he's rather small and round. Was it an issue of age? It was like Raphtalia when she was little. I feel like I shouldn't ask his gender. It'd be bad if he turned out to be a girl when I thought he was a boy. The high female ratio is troubling, it'd be better if I didn't know. There's no need to go and ask. Foal and Atla are. Naofumi. Those siblings were. Foal was carrying Atla on his back and doing self-introductions with Keel and them. Foal had a greatly displeased look on his face, but Atla was happily chatting with her new friends in a gesture of friendship. How far did Phiro and Melty go? What do I do if they don't introduce themselves here? I've kept you waiting. Naofumi. But I've become motivated from watching Iwatani Dano's actions, go figure. Female Knight. Is that so? Naofumi. It is. Everyone's desire for improvement has been circulating. Female Knight. So it's that sort of thing. Naofumi. I came with efficiency in mind though. It's rare for someone to do that subconsciously. Iwatani Dano really is a hero. Female Knight. Nothing will happen even if you praise me. Besides, I'm doing things for myself. Those guys are just putting themselves to work at their own pleasure. Naofumi. Fufu, and that's why your dearest Raphtalia has been boasting. Hi. I don't understand what she's saying at all. Has Raphtalia been telling stories? And, what did you have to report? Naofumi. I said so before, but please come to the warehouse, Rado is also waiting there. Female Knight. Hi. Naofumi. Why is Rado also there? For now I continue to follow the female knight. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 162, philo reals and dragons. Following the female knight, I leave the slaves to themselves and proceed towards the village storehouse. And there I find Rat with her arms crossed and an unpleasant expression on her face. Contrastingly, Tanako's eyes are sparkling. They are both waiting for me. What have you called me for? Naofumi. First, look inside the storehouse. Female knight. I slowly open the door and peer inside. Inside is, various armors and materials. There are also monster eggs. There wasn't supposed to be anything in here. Did you use my money to buy these things? Naofumi. No, these were sent in a parcel addressed to you. Female knight. What? Naofumi. Inside the storehouse, I see an open wooden box. The words, "To the hero of the shield, please give these gifts to the slaves blessed with misfortune," are scribbled on the side in terrible handwriting. Naofumi. They seem to be some sort of donation. There are some strong armors mixed in with the ones sent. And some of the herbs, jewels and lumbers sent are quite rare. Female knight. The reason that Rat and Tanako are here is for the eggs, right? Who is it? Who sent them? Naofumi. I got them from the queen when I went to give my report. They were left anonymously, but are probably from Siltwelt or Shieldfrieden. Based on the handwriting and ink used, this is the most likely case. Female knight. Is it fine for me to take them? Naofumi. All of the items sent are impossible to trace. Even the armor's inscriptions have been destroyed. Even if we find the sender, it will be impossible to confirm it. Female knight. This is that, isn't it? Some high-up person sent it to get in my favor. It doesn't matter who sent it. Just the fact that I received a gift shows that their country gave favor to the hero. A long time ago, a certain god of manga's irritated editor got tired of the god's son's mischievous pranks and finally threw him into the pond in the yard. After that, the editor honestly stated that he did it, and it became something he could brag about. The truth is uncertain, but there is a high probability that something like that did happen. TL, research leads me nowhere on that one. It doesn't matter who gave the gift. Now anyone can brag and call themselves a benefactor of the hero of the shield. They really sent over some troublesome things. Female knight. Yeah, and what are those eggs? Naofumi. They're a wide variety from common usapils to rare seasonal monsters. Female knight. So the contents have already been inspected. But Rat is acting strange. She's really mad. And the problem is that one. The huge egg in the back. Female knight. There is an exceptionally large egg in the back corner of the storehouse. What could it be? Could it be on a monster on the same level as the spirit turtle? So what is it? Naofumi. It's a flying dragon egg. It's supposedly a kind, reliable, expensive species. Female knight. Yeah, they really did send something troublesome over. Though I don't know why, Rat hates dragons. For a dragon to live in this village. How wonderful. Tanako. Tanako seems very excited. What's with her? Is she the opposite of Rat? What should we do? The sender is unknown, but should we try to find them and return these? Female knight. Even if you say that. I never thought we would be so troubled over a gift. Naofumi. I'm somehow troubled by the fact that someone sent me expensive goods. Someone may try to take advantage over me with them later. But as returning them seems impossible, I can only accept them. If something bad comes of it, we just need to be ready for it. If the package truly is from Siltwelt, then it is most likely an earnest donation to the hero of the shield. For now, let's accept them. If someone comes to claim them later, then ignore them. By the way, will we be able to place a monster seal on the flying dragon? Naofumi. We'll need a higher level of seal for it. But the sender kindly sent the tools necessary for the ritual. With the eggs, so. If the count wishes for it, then I can place a seal on all of these monsters. Rat. Hey, why do you hate dragons so much? Naofumi. I haven't told you yet. Rat. Rat angrily glares at Tanako and begins speaking. High-level dragons, you know. Once they go into heat, they lose all self-control. Rat. Wait, what? Naofumi. You don't know? Most dragons begin to corrupt the land they live in. Their homes are always quite dangerous. Rat. Is that how it is? Naofumi. The only dragon I know of is the dragon that Ren defeated. There the dragon's curse caused a plague. It definitely was a contaminated area. Dragons, you know. When they lose their self-control, they will try to violate monsters of different species. That's why in the land that dragons live, many dragon-like monsters come into being. Rat. This is quite a dangerous topic. Naofumi. Many fantasy games have half-dragon races, but is this the cause? Well, they do take the courtesy of setting up a territory and never leaving it, but the reason that I hate them is because they can easily screw up the ecosystem. By the way, flying dragons are a mix between a dragon and some other weak monster. Rat. Famo, so that's how it is. The biggest problem is the purebred dragons. They really have absolutely no distinction, and will even violate human women. Rat. It seems like quite a troublesome species. Tanako is glaring at us. They do have dignity. Tanako. Why are you angry? She's acting like someone directly related to the topic. Whenever monsters come up, this girl starts yelling. She takes turns with Rat managing the various monsters. There's already a race of dragon demi-humans. The Dragonutes. Tanako. I think I've heard something about dragon demi-humans before. Of course, even if dragons don't go into heat, that race will continue to exist, and they're quite a docile people. But the only ones who can withstand a dragon's lust are the Philo-Reals. Rat. Is that so? Naofumi. Yes, the Philo-Reals often have turf wars with the dragons. Rat. Phiro pops up in my mind. That gluttonous demon bird doesn't seem like such a high-class race to me. And because that egg holds a dragon, will you hate it? Naofumi. Yeah, kinda. I believe the monster seal has an option that controls sexual lust, so make sure to check that box. Or else this area's monster population will be corrupted. Rat. What is this feeling? In the hunting games I've played before, I've had to hunt dragon couples before. From the amount of children they had, I've always wondered why they didn't just go and wipe out humanity already. The Dragon Emperor Sama won't allow such behavior. Tanako. Tanako calls out. That's quite a powerful sounding name. Why is she that knowledgeable on monster matters? Is that just how she was raised? I don't care enough to ask. Yes, yes. The legendary king of dragons. I believe he was at war with the Philo-Real queen. Rat. There's a legend like that. Naofumi. It's only a legend. Both of their existences are subject to doubt. Rat. Well, I've met one of them before. But an argument will break out if I bring it up here. Anyways, I assume the story is something along the lines of the legendary Dragon King threatening the lives of many civilians and the Holy Philo-Real Queen driving him out. Or something about how both sides were continuously at war with one another. But if they have such reproductive capability, why have I never met a live one? Naofumi. They usually live in very remote areas. Has the Count ever ventured that far? Rat. I've only ever used the merchant roads for peddling. I've barely ever entered caves or mountains. So that's why. Naofumi. They pretty much keep to their territory. If you don't try to expand a settlement into said territory, you probably won't meet one. Rat. I see. Anyways, I have a policy of using what I can, so I'll keep and raise the dragon. Naofumi. Make sure to be strict with it. I don't want to become part of a dragon's harem. Rat. Yes, yes. Naofumi. As long as it has a monster seal, I should be able to manage. If anything bad happens, I can feed it to Phiro. As if she can read my mind, Tanako's glare intensifies. Don't fall for a newly hatched dragon. Rat. I won't fall for anyone. Tanako. TL, the actual text is don't open your legs to, but let's preserve the innocent children. Does she know what she's saying? Please stop your vulgar conversation. Naofumi. Rat lets out a sigh. Female knight is staring at us with an amazed expression. Training a flying dragon is difficult. People who accomplish it are called dragon knights. Rat. Ah, I remember seeing some when we were fighting the spirit turtle. Naofumi. They didn't really help out, though. Most of them fell to the ground screaming after taking attacks from the spirit turtle's familiars. There's a danger of falling off. And the dragons themselves are not particularly strong. Rat. I see, well, raising it shouldn't be all that difficult. Naofumi. I don't know what will happen if the count raises it. It might turn out like your Philo Real. Rat. Mew. You're right. I'll be careful. Naofumi. And so it was decided that we were going to keep the flying dragon egg. But it seems it will take a while to hatch. I have to personally bind it to my blood. Rat goes back to her lab with a disappointed expression. The bioplant research has continued, and it seems that Rat has finally completed a prototype that can grow medicinal herbs. However, right now it can only produce herbs that can be found anywhere on the side of the road. But still, the research has progressed. Why do I have to carry around the egg? Naofumi. For some reason, I have been tasked with keeping the flying dragon egg warm. As soon as she saw me, Keel burst into laughter. If you don't do this, you won't be able to imprint yourself as the parent. If you don't start out with this, it may ignore your commands later. Rat. Rat seems fed up. Are flying dragons really this troublesome to deal with? I regret my decision to raise it already. Is that how it is? Naofumi. Yes. I happen to be an expert on the subject, so trust me. Rat. I'm having a hard time believing because you're the one saying it, Naofumi. What was that? Rat. Understood. I didn't say anything. Naofumi. This is a pain. Ah ha 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 ha. Naofumi, what are you doing? Melty. Melty appears, riding Phiro. She points her finger at me and starts laughing. Shut it, second princess. Naofumi. You promised not to call me second princess, remember? Melty. Then don't laugh, idiot. Naofumi, TL, yes, he says baka. Idiot? Who are you calling an idiot? Melty. Ah, it seems that playing with Phiro has caused her to forget her original objective. You look peculiar. Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Raphatalia is trying to choose her words. I don't need her sympathy. Damn. Just go off peddling already. This time, me, Raphatalia and Phiro will have to go alone. Naofumi. I can't be seen like this by all of the villagers. I'll have to send them out. You're running away from the issue. Melty. Shut it. Naofumi. Melty is being overly obnoxious. Well, you'll have to keep this up for 2 to 3 days. After that, it should hatch. Rat. Damn it all. Naofumi. If you need anything done in the adjacent village, leave it to me. Otherwise you're going to slip out of this duty and head over, right? Melty. Naofumi. Melty hit the mark right on. For now, should I hide with it in the carriage? Master, are you carrying an egg? Phiro. Yeah. I apparently have to do this because it's a dragon. Naofumi. Can Phiro warm it? Phiro. Right, Phiro is a bird so her body is quite warm. Should I leave it with Phiro? No, Rat. No. Phiro. As soon as she hears Rat's warning, Phiro runs off. Does she really hate her that much? As I said before, Philo Reals and dragons don't get along. You can't let her warm it. Rat. I see, Naofumi. Though I could push my troubles onto her. Could I give it to Raphatalia? It's your dragon, right? You can't give it to someone else. Rat. Damn. Naofumi. How is she able to read my thoughts? There's no helping it. I'll hide in the carriage and go on a little trip. And like that, I go peddling to run away from my troubles. I am wearing a cloak to hide the embarrassing egg on my back. It's been a while since we went out peddling with just the 3 of us. Raphatalia. Now that I think about it, you're right. Naofumi. The last time I went peddling with just Raphatalia and Phiro was a long time ago. Now we're always surrounded by Keel and the other villagers. Before the matter with the spirit turtle, we were always running around by ourselves. A flying dragon. I wonder what sort of child it will grow up to be. Raphtalia. No idea. Naofumi. Will Phiro still be pulling the carriage? Phiro. Of course. Naofumi. It seems Phiro holds a strange sense of pride. But I don't think a flying dragon can pull a carriage in the first place. Phiro will always be master's legs. Phiro. I wonder. Naofumi. The ability to fly will be quite advantageous. If he turns out to be more efficient than the ground bound Phiro, then I'll use him instead. However, a flying dragon has very limited carrying capacity. Only one person can ride it at a time. I'll only use it if I have to go in a hurry by myself. Or so Rat told me. Mew, Phiro. Phiro, make sure to look ahead as you walk. Raphtalia. But Master said, Phiro. It's all right. If Phiro works hard, Naofumi-sama will learn to rely on you more. Raphtalia. Really? Phiro. I wonder. Naofumi. Naofumi-sama, please be quiet for a second. Raphtalia. I guess there's a limit to teasing Phiro. Perhaps this dragon will be able to bring out Phiro's competitive side. She's getting a little too conceited over her leg power. Phiro will work hard. Phiro. Yes, let's work hard together. Raphtalia. Yeah. Phiro. Now then, I guess I should get to making some medicine to sell. Naofumi. I also need to think of what jobs to give the slaves later on. And, the first day of peddling went by with no problems. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero chapter 163, which. That night, I heard a voice when I retired to bed. Kukuku, 'twas that woman and Packbird's fault that I was repressed, but when the perfect host for mine spirit comes, it will be fun. T/N, pack animal but with the character for animal. Replaced with bird, therefore pack bird. Also, they're using somewhat archaic pronouns, hence the Shakespearean-ness. What? This voice, I've heard it before, but I can't remember. The wrath of thou who burned me was exquisite, no, that's wrong. Together with me and mine power, thy strength was raised. However, it's insufficient, I'm unsatisfied. This is, who? Whose voice is this? I will be the ones to kill thee. I will have thee take responsibility for killing me, by compensating with thy body. I felt extremely unpleasant sweat flow from my paralysed body. I look forward to coming out. That was the kind of nightmare I saw that night. I had the feeling that I knew who the owner of the voice was. But this was lost as a part of the dream. I wonder how long left until the egg hatches. Naofumi. Yet. Raphtalia. Phiro also wants to incubate the egg. Phiro. You were told that you couldn't though. Naofumi. That was the sort of conversation we had while on our peddling trip. And just like that, we arrived in a large town. We've come here many times to sell our goods, so I recognize the faces of the townspeople, to a certain extent. After most of our stock was sold, I stared out of the carriage wondering what to do in the future. When I recognized a familiar-looking figure walking away. Phiro, stop. Naofumi. What's the matter, master? Phiro. I stopped the carriage, covered myself with a robe to hide the egg and then approached the figure. He stood in the shade of a building and seemed to be looking out onto the main street. Raphtalia also realized who it was and stopped her query midway. That's right. Raphtalia. Naofumi. What is it? Raphtalia. I forgot about it last time, but you can use concealing magic, right? Naofumi. Yes. I learned how to cast it so that everyone else will have difficulty sensing us. Raphtalia. Raphtalia was taught magic in the castle and therefore knew more advanced concealing magic. Recently, she also studied this magic, saying that she was trying to think up a countermeasure against Motoyasu and Ren. If Portal Spear was used, then it would be over, but it seems like we can do something about the Flash Sword. Then please do so. Naofumi. I understand. Raphtalia. We hid in an alley and Raphtalia grasped Phiro and my hands while concentrating. Alhide Mirage. Raphtalia's magic wrapped around us gently. It should be fine now. Raphtalia. Ah, this is helpful. Naofumi. We tailed our target with our hands linked. Somehow it seemed like he was tailing someone as well. No, more accurately, he was waiting for the right timing to talk to them. What should I do? I just hope it doesn't end up like with Erina. Motoyasu. Did he not even realize that we were behind him, filled with anticipation all by himself? Just what was he so anxious about, that idiot? And, as I was thinking that, I followed the idiot's gaze. And then the idiot's face changed color. At first I thought the magic had released and we had been discovered, but I was wrong. When I saw who the gaze was resting on, I was also speechless. Somehow bitch had brought along woman too, and was talking to Ren for some reason. What were they saying? I ignored idiot Motoyasu and approached bitch. Or I should say, I advanced in order to arrest her. Motoyasu and Ren will run away so I can't catch them, but bitch is different. It seems something interesting will be awaiting if I arrest her, and I don't have the option not to. I sent Raphtalia a glance. Raphtalia nodded. I'm not sure if Phiro understood the situation or not, but she followed silently. A sound reached my ears. It was a pretty loud voice. I'm not the hero of the spear's weapon. The first time we met, I believed Ren-sama was also a hero. Who would save the world? Bitch. Bitch is saying some terrible things. I have a strong impulse to jump out and bash her face in. Besides, spear forces us into unreasonable relationships, just like shield. Needless to say, I searched for Ren-sama with my newfound freedom. Bitch. She's saying some really infuriating lines. And this outburst of emotions after so long. I thought you were together with Motoyasu for a good many months. I promptly looked towards Motoyasu. Gunanu. Motoyasu, T/N, sound of outrage. Wow, he's peeping with such a prominent face. But I think the queen said that you've always had problems. Ren. As expected, Ren also felt the need to be cautious. Well, she has to struggle that much at least. Ren-sama doesn't know Mama's true colors. Mama's the woman known as Melromark's vixen. She invented a ploy to produce large profits by humiliating me. This gave credit to that demon. Shield, and spear was also part of it too. Bitch. Is that so? Ren. What will you do? Will you raise your voice and object? Or rather, say something with credibility. Although I've also put my faith in her before, these are bitch's words, so they're definitely lies. It would be better if you believed someone who has been antagonized by bitch. Like Melty, or the current Motoyasu. Then, bitch embraced Ren and stroked his hair. Ren-sama, losing your comrades must have been very heartbreaking. It's okay to cry now. It's alright. The whole world may be calling you a criminal, but I believe that Ren-sama has been fighting for the sake of the world. Bitch. She's pretty good at sucking up to weakened guys. Raphtalia looked at bitch with an incredibly doubtful face. It's similar to what she said to me. Or should I say it's a complete rip-off? Right, in a bit, just a little bit longer and I'll grab bitch's shoulder. Wait. Motoyasu. Motoyasu rushed over at this point. He looks as though he saw something really despicable. Was this really the rumored lady killer? No. Well, if isn't it the spear? Bitch. Bitch flicked her hair back with an incredibly obnoxious face and deliberately gave Motoyasu a dirty look. For some reason, my trauma was evoked and I felt pissed off. Bitch, you won't be laughing for much longer. That's my line. What the hell are you doing? Sucking up to Ren, I've been searching for you. Motoyasu. Ahaha, charging in recklessly, I'm not an idiot. Ren-sama, please listen. Bitch. Bitch clung to Ren and declared this while crying fake tears. When we got into a pinch, that spear focused the enemy's attention towards us. He said he would defeat the enemy, but he just used us as a shield. We fled because we were scared, but when we did, he chased after us obstinately, saying that he won't forgive us for deserting in the face of an enemy. Bitch. Lies. Motoyasu. I started to get a headache. Bitch was following her usual pattern. I should probably hurry and arrest that bitch. Speaking of which, I recognize Motoyasu's current expression. Obviously. It's the me from that day. Bitch, you're repeating the same things as before. Sinking your fangs into 3 heroes, you're a bitch who has transcended beyond a bitch. I'm renaming you witch. It even has the double meaning of being a sorceress. I should just kill her and say she tried to resist. Yeah, let's do that. I can't think of anything else. So you were trying that kind of thing, huh? You're as bad, or even worse than Naofumi. Betraying people's trust, you're a disgrace. Ren, whore has been telling lies. Please believe me. Motoyasu. Who's going to believe that? Ren. That's right. Forcing us into a relationship every night. And if not, you would threaten to kill Papa. Bitch. Stop lying. I really did worry. Motoyasu. I'd like to see more of Motoyasu's misfortune, but I can't stand it anymore. Filled with murderous intent, I firmly grasped Witch's shoulder with my hand. Bitch. Raphtalia snapped her fingers and released her spell. How dare you spew out such lies, Witch? Naofumi. Shield. Bitch. Witch's eyebrows sprung up high. She looked as if she came across someone detestable. But I feel the same way. Sorry, but I'm going to have you come back to the castle. I'll arrest you, dead or alive. Naofumi. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 164, Negligence. The first one to react to my words was Ren. Keep your hands off of Maine. Ren. Ren brandishes his sword. It lets out sparks as it collides with my arm. Of course, I don't take any damage. It's not like he learned the other reinforcement methods in this short amount of time. At this level, I don't even need to use my shield. You know. If you call her that, her punishment will only increase. Naofumi. Shut it. Get away from Maine. Ren. Witch is also struggling. It's become difficult to hold her with one hand. Meteor Sword. Ren. Oh, a skill might be able to inflict some damage on me. I'm holding a relatively rare egg right now. It will be a waste if it breaks, so I back off. In exchange, Raphtalia and Phiro step forward. Even Motoyasu takes up a fighting stance. We're all prepared to capture Ren, bitch, and woman too. Ren, it's better if you don't trust that witch. She's exactly as the queen described. Naofumi. She can put false crimes on people without remorse, and she loves watching others struggle. Ren will probably be tricked and discarded sometime soon as well. Just like Motoyasu. Look closely at Motoyasu's face. Doesn't he look pitiable? Is this the face of a person who would do such things? Naofumi. No, I heard Motoyasu was also coerced by the queen. The queen is the ringleader behind all of this. Ren. And isn't that single woman the only one telling you that? Naofumi. Even so, I must fight for the people who believe in me. Ren. Calm down. Think logically. The normal you would have figured it out by now. Naofumi. Shut up. Ren. Ah, this is impossible. He seriously believes he is in the right. I can't really blame him here. In my case, I had the slight feeling that something was off, but I never realized I had been deceived. Until the end. And the current Ren is mentally unstable. He sides with Witch, who offered him plenty of soft words. Should I kill her? I should have enough power now. Unlike before. Wait, a shadow should be somewhere around here. If the shadow utilizes the slave crest, I won't have to fight Ren. Perhaps I will be able to teach him proper reinforcement techniques and add him to my fighting force. Though earning his trust won't be that easy. As if responding to my thoughts, Bitch's slave crest begins to glow. Ku. Ren-sama. We should retreat for now. Bitch. Understood. Flashing sword. Ren. On Witch's words, Ren unleashes a skill. And as before, his sword starts glowing. Damn. Raphtalia, Phiro. Naofumi. Yes. Raphtalia. Yet. Phiro. Right after I gave my warning, the sword releases a blinding light. As if that will work forever. I, who has understood the origin of power, commands you. I shall once again read forth the truth. Bind this foul light that clouds us from knowledge. Raphtalia. Al anti-shining. Raphtalia. Our eyes that were under the influence of Ren's flashing sword start to clear up. And Phiro jumps into the air in preparation for a kick. But she is too late. Ren picks up Bitch and Woman too, and brandishes his sword once more. Transfer sword. Ren. Just like when Motoyasu disappeared, Ren's image starts to fade. And so does Witch's. Witch, it seems you were able to escape this time. But remember this, I'll chase you to the depths of hell. All you have to do is wait in a corner, cowering in fear. Naofumi. Humph. Bitch. I hear Witch snorting at my proclamation before she completely disappears. This skill truly is annoying. I need to find some way to seal it. Damn it. She got away again. That damn witch, I'll definitely slaughter her later. Naofumi. Naofumi-sama, please calm down. Raphtalia. Aren't you frustrated? Has she begun corrupting you as well? Naofumi. I'm madder than I've ever been in a long time. What should I take my anger out on? It's immature, but I start to get angry at Raphtalia. Naofumi-sama, your words are enough to keep me by your side. Raphtalia. I see, Naofumi. If Raphtalia is okay with this, then I guess I should endure my rage for a little longer. But I won't forget this, Witch. This rage greater than I can handle. Someday it will be embedded into your chest with a 10-inch rusty nail. As I slowly stomach my rage, Shadow appears. She has escaped out of my range, Gojiru. I can only send out fatal punishment, but I cannot track her. Shadow. I don't think killing her would be that bad, but Shadow also has orders. We can't kill her without due process. And I kinda want her to suffer 100x more. Am I a bad person? So it seems. Naofumi. I never thought the former princess would be able to seduce the hero of the sword so easily. Gojiru. Shadow. Just when I was looking for them, they suddenly appeared. Perhaps my luck is better than I thought. Naofumi. I see, Gojiru. Anyways, I'm off to give a report to the Queen, Gojiru. By the way, what should we do with the hero of the spear, Gojiru? Shadow. If we try something, won't he just run away? Naofumi. If he has such a convenient skill, I don't think we can apprehend him. I can't even begin to think of how convenient it would have been for me if I had it when I was on the lam. I don't think it seems that way, Gojiru. Shadow. Motoyasu has dropped his stance and is staring at the ground, sighing. So his heart has already given up. What's up? Won't you run? Naofumi. It's fine. I wanted to find everyone. I believed in them, but this is all I get. The townsfolk all treat me coldly. I'm tired, Motoyasu. His eyes look cloudy. If he were a magical girl, this is where he would turn into a witch. TL, Madoka reference. Yes, I watched it. Didn't enjoy it. So will you take him in? Naofumi. I don't think he will be punished that badly, Gojiru. The world still needs him to fight in the wave. Gojiru. Shadow. Yeah, that's true. We can't really give him overly cruel penalties, and we can't kill him. Naofumi. If killing was all we had to do, then Raphtalia and Phiro would be able to do it in one blow. But then we wouldn't have to capture him. For now, Motoyasu, you're under arrest. Naofumi. Yes, I understand. Take me wherever you will. Kill me if you want, Motoyasu. Motoyasu seems to have given up all hope. But after what just happened, it can't be helped. Everyone asks me to save them, and if I make the slightest mistake they throw stones at me. They, Bitch and Elena that I believed with all of my heart turned out to be bad people. I don't even care anymore, Motoyasu. He had believed in his comrades, and had thus tried to search the globe for them, but those very comrades abandoned him. There must be a reason it turned out like this. I'm not at fault. He must be thinking things like that. And the sun is already setting. Should I take him to the castle now? Naofumi. It seems to be an urgent matter, so I'll leave it to you, Iwadani Dano Gojiru. Shadow. Got it. Oi, Motoyasu. Naofumi. It's fine. Just say I caused this disaster already. Will that satisfy you? Motoyasu. What the hell are you giving into? You're definitely a cause of this disaster. Why are you acting like it's someone else's problem? Can you use that warp skill to go to the castle? Naofumi. That's not its current registered destination, so it's impossible. Motoyasu. So it's no use here. What material did you absorb to get that spear? Naofumi. Learning that skill will make transportation convenient. It can be used for peddling, level grinding, and many more. I should probably have the ability to learn it. It's the Dragon Hourglass's sand. Motoyasu. When were you able to take it, Gojiru? Shadow. So that's what it is. Isn't that kinda illegal? Ren and Itsuki probably already absorbed some as well. Why didn't I try it yet? I didn't steal anything. The sisters gave it to me when I asked. Motoyasu. Shadow glares at him. And now that I think about it, there were some reports of that happening when the Three-Hero Church was in control, Gojiru. Shadow. Say that ahead of time. Naofumi. Now that I think about it, there are a mountain of materials I have yet to try. I haven't been feeding the shield much lately. The Yggdrasil medicine was too valuable, so I didn't feed it to the shield. I should start testing more things. What sort of skill is it? Naofumi. It lets you teleport to a preset location, Motoyasu. Are there any conditions? Naofumi. No idea. In my game you could use it in any area that didn't prevent skills. Motoyasu. I still have no idea how to prevent it. Though there may have been areas that limited it while in the game, I have no idea if this world has such places. Can you set to anywhere you've been before? What can you set the destination as? Naofumi. You can set up to 3 locations. If you try to set another, the oldest one will be forgotten. Most people you can take with you is 6. Motoyasu. He's being strangely compliant. Anyways, the castle is quite a distance away. If we can't warp there directly, I guess we'll have to stay the night in this town. Then we'll find a place to stay the night here. Naofumi. Understood. Motoyasu. Understood, Gojiru. I will depart to relay the situation to the Queen, Gojiru. Shadow. How do you contact the Queen anyways? Naofumi. Secret, Gojiru. I'll only tell you that I can't carry anyone with me, Gojiru. Shadow. Shadow disappears as she says this. Her response somehow annoys me. Fyro begins poking the depressed Motoyasu. Even after he saw what that women did to me, he's still this depressed? Perhaps he is finally feeling the fatigue of the lifestyle he has been living until now. I don't really care, and I kinda like seeing his depressed face, but I notice Raphatalia glaring at me. Naofumi-sama? What's wrong? Raphatalia. Nothing really. Let's go find an inn. Naofumi. Yes. Raphatalia. And that's how we dragged Motoyasu with us, and found an inn to stay at. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 165, Another Awakening. The inn we stayed at didn't include food, so we all, Motoyasu included, went off to the bar. As soon as we step in, Motoyasu rushes over to the counter and orders some alcohol. And he hangs his head while downing it at an alarming rate. He really has nothing but women on his head, this one. When he loses them, this is the inevitable result. Some people who don't realize his identity try to converse with him, but he brushes them aside. Era, do you want to have a drink with this Oni-san? Older woman. I'm sorry. I kinda want to drink alone now. Please don't mind me. Motoyasu. He even brushes away the females. This may be more serious than I thought. Bitch was always like that. Did you really believe in her that much? The rest of us ordered dinner. Though I don't really think that a bar should have good food, after asking around, I found that this bar had the best taste in town. The servings are also quite large and the price isn't that high. And after having her fill of good food, the human form Fyro begins to sing along with the bar's bard. The egg on my back is a nuisance. I try to stay inconspicuous. Young girl, let's sing another one. Bard. Sure, let's go. Fyro. Fyro starts singing with an unnerving amount of energy. Her voice is quite good. She gets carried away and begins singing a strange tune. It sounds like an anime song. It might be my imagination, but the people in front of the stage seem to have a strange look in their eyes. Naofumi-sama, I've heard that there is a type of monster that uses its singing voice to lead ships astray at sea. Raphatalia. What a coincidence, I was thinking of that monster as well. Naofumi. The people listening to the song seemed to be mesmerized, as if they were being bewitched by the sirens. After Phiro finally finishes her song, the establishment is shaken by an explosive cheer from the crowd. Quite a few people call for an encore, but it seems Phiro got bored. She shouts, "No," and gets off the stage. She's become quite popular, and some people are handing her bouquets of flowers. Someone also hands her a vegetable that looks like a carrot. Phiro stares at it and licks her lips. After seeing this, numerous people begin giving her food. I don't know if she's lost her mind, but Phiro, carrying a mountain of gifts, goes over and sits down next to Motoyasu. What's wrong? You're not energetic like usual. What happened? Phiro. Motoyasu. Motoyasu directs an annoyed glance at Phiro. He's even acting this way towards his beloved human form Phiro. This truly is serious. Are you hungry? If you're hungry, you won't feel good. Do you want me to sing a song to give you energy? Phiro. Phiro makes her way back to the stage, and starts singing again. It's quite an upbeat song. Almost as if Phiro knows quite a few songs. I never knew. Naofumi. Well, we did travel around a lot. She loves to sing, you know. Raphatalia. Phiro stares out Motoyasu as she sings. She also begins dancing. Just looking at her seems to give me energy. It sounds like a song from that one anime with a transforming plane. TL, according to the comments, this is a Macross reference. I'm off to go watch it. The song ends, and Phiro goes back to Motoyasu's side. Please, just ignore me. Motoyasu. Yes, Phiro. Is what she says. She starts rummaging through the various items she received. Eat this. It always gives me energy. Phiro. Motoyasu finally takes the food and flowers presented to him. Phiro is acting out of pure curiosity right now. Her interest was probably piqued upon seeing the usually energetic Motoyasu acting this down. Wa? You, Bilwa. Motoyasu. Motoyasu lets out a cry and suddenly clings to Phiro. Phiro. And Phiro lets out a surprised cry that doesn't lose to his. And she begins twisting her body to get out of Motoyasu's grasp, but Motoyasu uses all of his power to prevent her escape. You, Motoyasu. Motoyasu seriously starts crying. Master. Save me. Phiro. Phiro is also crying as she looks at me for help. Is he an idiot? What the hell are you doing? Naofumi. I approach the two to save Phiro, but Motoyasu suddenly presses his head into Phiro's chest and sobs harder. Since which was no good, he turned to Phiro? No. Motoyasu has been showing interest in Phiro for a long time. Return to your original form. Motoyasu will probably let go. Naofumi. G got it. Phiro. Motoyasu should have a trauma for Phiro's original form. He never approaches her when she looks like that. Phiro transforms as per my request. The people in the bar begin screaming in surprise, but I ignore it. However. Super. Phiro-chan's smell. Sniff, sniff, Motoyasu. Motoyasu continues to hold on to monster form Phiro, and takes in her scent. How indecent. He's not letting go. He's not letting go, master. Phiro. He's not even backing off from monster form Phiro? How could this be? Wait, I can imagine his reasons. He's like this because you offered kind words to him when he was depressed. Take responsibility. And look after him. Naofumi. Wait a second. Using that logic, Naofumi-sama has to look after me. Raphatalia. What are you talking about, Raphatalia? Naofumi. Raphatalia seems to be caught up in the chaos as well. No. Phiro. Phiro-tan, Motoyasu. Motoyasu begins nestling his face in Phiro's plumage. Phiro tries to use her superhuman strength to lift him off, but Motoyasu grips her with his entire body. And he isn't moving. When she tries to get him off, her feathers come with him. The pain prevents her from going all out. Phiro is one who hates pain. Save me, Phiro. Phiro is pleading at me for help with teary eyes. What should I do? Fine. Motoyasu. Naofumi. This is no good. He can't hear me. He can't even hear Phiro. Motoyasu has finally broken. Or perhaps, he has awakened to a new fetish. He's even accepting monster form Phiro. Has he become a masochist? Master. Phiro. I'm supposed to take Motoyasu to the castle, but will it be possible like this? If you don't like it, just tell him and dump him. Naofumi. Got it. Phiro. Phiro walks out of the bar with Motoyasu still clinging to her. Raphatalia. Raphatalia lets out a confused voice. Anyways. We'll have to put turning Motoyasu in on hold. If he doesn't suffer some more, I won't be satisfied. Naofumi. I think he has transcended the state of suffering and reached some form of enlightenment. Raphatalia. If we get Phiro to act like an evil woman, he'll probably snap out of it. Get her to tell him that she only approached him for food. Naofumi. I see, Raphatalia. It'll probably work. Probably. Naofumi. I have a bad premonition about this. But if I don't do this, we'll never get rid of him. It's fine. It's Motoyasu. He should be back to skirt chasing in no time. And so we spent a peaceful night, and morning came. By the way, it seems Phiro finally managed to dump Motoyasu down a cliff. The amount of feathers on her body has decreased. Now then, since we are putting turning Motoyasu in on hold, should we wait for Shadow to return? Then head back to the village. Naofumi. I planned to stay away until the egg hatched, but it should hatch any minute now. It moves occasionally. It should hatch soon. We should do that. Raphatalia. Master, Phiro wants to leave soon, Phiro. Phiro looks at me with fearful eyes. She has developed yet another trauma. She hated the man from the beginning anyways. Why did she approach him even though she hated him? Why did you try to cheer him on? Naofumi. Because he didn't have any energy. He seemed like the village children when we first met them. Phiro. But the medicine was too potent for Motoyasu. He's going to become annoying. Next time you see him, tell him the lines I taught you in advance. Naofumi. Yes, Phiro. Well then, let's get breakfast and prepare to depart. Naofumi. I open the door to the room. Good morning, dear father-in-law. Motoyasu. I slam the door. Was that Motoyasu? I must be going crazy. Let me recollect myself. What was that, Naofumi? Did something happen? Raphatalia. Well, Naofumi. What was father-in-law supposed to mean? Why was Motoyasu on standby in front of the door? I just got up, my mind isn't working properly yet. Explaining is a pain. I step aside and offer the door handle to Raphatalia. Raphatalia tilts her head to the side and opens it. Why is the Tanuki pig in Phiro-tan's room? Motoyasu. Fuge. Motoyasu. A vein pops up on Raphatalia's forehead. While smiling, she whacks his head and slams the door. Tanuki pig. I'm hearing some amazing things so early in the morning. What is he doing? Well, Raphatalia. Raphatalia looks just as confused as me. I understand the situation. What should we do? Raphatalia. And from when was he standing in front of the door? Naofumi. I heard a banging sound quite a while ago, but he couldn't have been there for that long. Raphatalia. I heard it too. I thought it was an adventurer wandering around, but was that Motoyasu? Naofumi. He seems too energetic for having been pushed off a cliff. Phiro. Naofumi. No. Phiro. If you don't clearly tell him, he'll never leave you alone, that man. Naofumi. You. Phiro. Phiro opens the door while frowning. Oh, Phiro-tan. Motoyasu. Motoyasu jumps at Phiro, but Raphatalia halts him with an iron claw to the face. Unhand me, Tanuki pig. I must embrace my beloved Phiro-tan. Motoyasu. Raphatalia. She's smiling, but she's letting out a dark aura. What is Motoyasu doing? I only approached you for food. Don't misunderstand my intentions. Phiro. Love is something that stems from misunderstandings, dear Phiro Tan. It's fine, I'll accept your selfishness as well. Motoyasu. No. Phiro. She's shivering. This is no good. I try to comprehend the current situation, and Motoyasu turns to me with serious eyes. Dear father-in-law. Please leave your daughter to me. Motoyasu. Who are you calling father-in-law? Naofumi. I don't remember becoming the father of this gluttonous devil bird. I may have raised her, but I don't remember making her my daughter. Father-in-law. I was saved by your daughter, and have realized my true feelings for her. I'll definitely make her happy. Please leave your daughter to me. Motoyasu. And I'm saying I'm not this girl's father. Naofumi. You can't say that. A father shouldn't think that way about his daughter, father-in-law. Motoyasu. Are you even listening to me? She isn't my daughter. Naofumi. That sort or relationship between father and daughter is immoral, father-in-law. Motoyasu. Just be quiet already. Naofumi. Raphatalia drives Motoyasu out and slams the door again. This is exponentially more serious than I had previous thought. If I deal with this poorly, he might end up with irreparable mental damage. Step down, Tanuki pig. Release Phiro-tan and father-in-law. Motoyasu. Motoyasu bangs on the room's door. My head is hurting a lot. I could never reason with him before, but his brain was never this messed up. He's become a complete stalker now. The reason for this is, probably because Phiro treated him nicely. If you corner humans, they may develop unimaginable levels of devotion to their goals. Mai and Ren's cases prove that. Though I don't get what part of yesterday's events led to this. But it seems that Motoyasu views Phiro as his savior. Motoyasu seems to be the type that gets obsessed easily. From Motoyasu's reaction, is he the type of person who keeps trying until his target develops feelings for him? I really don't want to involve myself in this. This is a major waste of time. You're being too loud. Adventurer. A female adventurer staying in the same inn begin to complain. You pigs are the ones who are being loud. Quit your squealing. Motoyasu. Pigs? What is this man saying? Adventurer. The skirt-chasing Motoyasu is now verbally abusing women. What sort of woman could it be? I slowly stick my head into the doorway. The woman Motoyasu is quarreling with is quite a beauty. I think it's the Oni-san that approached him earlier. I can't understand what drove him this far. What the hell is going through his head? What do Raphatalia and that woman look like to him? What should we do? We won't be able to leave like this. Raphatalia. Phiro, take responsibility, and Naofumi. No. Phiro. Really, what should we do? It doesn't seem Motoyasu will leave us alone anytime soon. Let's leave through the window. We can explain our situation to the inn manager and run. Raphatalia. You understood. Naofumi. Is Motoyasu truly an idiot? What could have led to this? I can't even imagine it. Why do we have to run from him? Shouldn't it be the reverse? And so we left the inn. Afterwards, while we were traveling, Phiro randomly began running off to kick things. I can imagine what she's kicking. To withstand Phiro's kicks, he must have quite a bit of stamina. Or perhaps Phiro's trauma prevents her from finding the strength to kick with all her might. Recently I've been seeing Witch's Wanted poster hanging around. She is to be captured on sight. The problem is that she's traveling with Ren. And we began our escape from the clutches of the broken Motoyasu. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 166, Hatching. We frantically drive the carriage to get away from the broken Motoyasu, and head for our village. Paki, Paki. I hear some sounds from my back. It seems the egg is about to hatch. I take it off of my back and examine it. Is the egg ready to hatch? Raphatalia. It seems that's the case. Naofumi. The carriage is shaking. Phiro is running with all of her might. Well, something terrible did happen to her. This egg is much bigger than Phiro's. It's not big enough that I'd have to carry it under my arm, but it's about as big as an ostrich's. Cracks begin to spread across the surface of the egg, and from it a small dragon begins to emerge. What do dragons even eat? Naofumi. I think it's probably meat. Raphatalia. Did we have any meat? Naofumi. We should have some extra smoked fish and jerky in the storehouse, so we should be fine. I'll ask Rat later. Naofumi. Let's do that. Raphatalia. Even if she hates it, she will probably talk. Tanako has been getting annoying lately. Kaiuaaaa. Dragon. The dragon's head is fully out of the shell. It lets out a cry. Did it hatch? Phiro. Yet. Naofumi. How nostalgic. Phiro was also born like this, no, she was much more energetic than this. The dragon chick is about the size of my head. Much bigger than Phiro was. Doesn't it look a little strange? Naofumi. Its body is charcoal colored with a metallic gloss. On its back are wings way too small for the body. Its tail is quite thick. It has 2 horns, and it hasn't grown any scales yet. I try to lift it up and find it to be quite warm. Kyua. Dragon. It starts blinking and rests its gaze on me. Kyua. Dragon. It raises one of its arms as if to greet me, and lets out a sound. What should we name it? Raphatalia. What would be good? Let's ask the villagers. Naofumi. Fine, let's decide one together. Raphatalia. Then should Phiro rush to the village? Phiro. We're already quite close. There's no need to rush. Naofumi. It would be troublesome if it died on the ride right after we got it. Ah, right. I should feed the egg shell to the shield. I touch the shell to the shield. Bang. What? The shield lets out some sparks. Series is currently locked. Lock? Now that I think about it. I raised my level quite a bit, but I haven't unlocked any dragon-based shields. The zombie dragon didn't give me such a shield, and I haven't met any other dragons. I don't know the reason, but my shield has yet to unlock any dragon shields. The closest thing I have at the moment is the Wrath shield. Should I take Raphatalia and Phiro to the mountains later? I don't know how well I will be able to fight under this curse. However, there are many things I need to test out. Ah, I forgot because of that incident with Motoyasu, but I have to go to the castle town soon. I need to get some dragon hourglass sand to unlock the warp skill, and get some weapons from the old man. Fufu. It looks cute. It reminds me of when Phiro was little. Raphatalia. Raphatalia gently pokes the baby dragon. The dragon grabs hold of Raphatalia's finger and lightly gnaws on it. This is supposed to be an incarnation of carnal lust? I better raise it carefully. We arrive at the village, and I park the carriage next to Rat's research lab. Raphatalia goes off to talk to the other villagers, and Phiro goes off to find Melty in the neighboring town. And I walk into the laboratory. Yo! Naofumi. It seems the dragon has finally hatched. Rat. Yet. Naofumi. I lift the dragon up and show it to Rat. Well then, let me give it a medical examination. Rat. Rat carefully examines the chick, and does some light palpations on it. Okay, there are no problems to report. It is a male. Rat. That's good. Naofumi. There should be no problems if he gets the ability to turn human like Phiro. No, the ability to turn human is a problem in itself. What should I feed him? Is it meat? Naofumi. Though it has carnivorous tendencies, it is an omnivore. You can feed it whatever you want. Rat. As Rat begins speaking, the dragon chick jumps out of her arms and starts climbing up my leg. What is he doing? Is there anything particular I have to watch out for? Naofumi. Don't feed it after midnight. Bad things will happen. Rat. What sort of demon is that? TL, Gremlin's reference. Is it that one? The one you can't splash water on? By the way, that was a joke. Well, just be careful what you feed it. It might end up chasing you too. Make you cook more. Rat. I see. Naofumi. I recommend taking it hunting soon. The appetite of a growing dragon is not something to be trifled with. You better get it out of the way quickly. Rat. Is that something I should worry over? Naofumi. Yeah, but Count, most of the kids in your village won't lose out appetite-wise even to a hungry Dragon. Rat. Rat begins talking in a haughty tone. She seems to have arbitrarily come to her own conclusion. What species is this dragon? Naofumi. It's part of the WYR race. It's a race with exceptionally high loyalty. It seems to be a mix of a pure blood WYR and a Tyra. Rat, TL, the common romanization of WYRM without an M. Perhaps it is supposed to be something else. Tyra. Naofumi. It's a monster that looks like a giant lizard. They don't fly but make for good vehicles. Though they aren't exactly common. Rat. I see, Naofumi. I've never heard of or seen one. It's not a monster native to Melromark, so you probably haven't seen one. I don't think anyone even keeps one in this area. Rat. Is that how it is? Naofumi. It's much more common in Fobri, Schildfrieden, and Siltwelt. Its natural habitat is quite limited. Rat. Naofumi. Your area of operation is quite small, you know, Count. Rat. I'm well aware. Naofumi. Don't stress over things that don't concern you. When the other 3 heroes were sent to other countries, I had to remain here. I never received any international missions. If I can make a profit overseas, I should probably consider it, but now is not the time for that. But I don't think I will be freed of my work here soon. Perhaps I should let the slaves branch out my company. I'll ask the queen about it later. So you were over here. Female Knight. Female Knight arrives at the lab with Tanako. What's up? Did something happen? Naofumi. Well Female Knight. Is this the dragon child that came from the egg? Tanako. Tanako interrupts Female Knight and stares intently at the baby dragon. Kua. Dragon. The dragon seems to give off a smile. It doesn't seem to be afraid of strangers. For now, you can go play with the chick. I have some business to speak of with Naofumi Dano. Female Knight. Yes. Tanako. Why do you listen to her words, but not mine? Naofumi. I'm technically your master, you know. Well, she'll be taking a burden off my hands for a while. I hand the dragon chick over to Tanako and face Female Knight. And? What happened? Naofumi. It seems that the country has sent over a military instructor for you. Female Knight. Military instructor. Naofumi. You know the definition, right? Female Knight. Well, yeah, someone who teaches how to fight, right? I thought you were already teaching the villagers. Naofumi. You're not wrong. But the person sent is a specialist in the field. Female Knight. Female Knight seems to want to drag me over to him quickly. She starts explaining the situation. It's a practitioner of a legendary style, Henjin Muzu. That person volunteered to lend Iwadni Dano their power. Female Knight, TL, Henjin Muzu literally means unparalleled transformation. Henjin Muzu? What is that? What sort of style? Naofumi. It sounds like something someone with Chuyunibyo would think of. It's a legendary style that is said to have never lost on the battlefield. I heard tales of it while growing up. The last remaining practitioner said that the style was no longer needed in this world, and planned to take it to the grave with them. But after being helped by Iwadni Dano, that person has decided to pass on the legend for the sake of the world. Female Knight. Is it strong? Naofumi. Of course. The style has left its mark on the histories of countries around the globe. Just like the 4 summoned and 7-star heroes. Female Knight. It's that famous? It must be an interesting style. Naofumi. However, half a century ago, internal discord caused the death of a majority of its practitioners. Those left all swore to never pass it on. And this is the last practitioner left alive. Female Knight. Really, what sort of style is it? I imagine it coming from a land plagued by bandits. Something like that one godly martial arts style. TL, Fist of the North Star. That person is a famous individual who participated in Melromark's previous major war. Female Knight. Who? Naofumi. They said they were on friendly terms with you, but, Female Knight. Who is it? Did I know such a person? If you can't remember, I think it's best if you met them. I want to undertake that person's lessons as soon as possible. Female knight. By female knight's behavior, a really amazing person must have come. Female knight grabs my arm and begins pulling me away. I'm off. Is there anything you need to report? Naofumi. Could you come to see my progress on the bioplant later? I think you will have to preform a modification on it. Rat. Understood. Naofumi. Kyua. Dragon. You should go feed him something. I'm going to take him leveling soon. Naofumi. Tanako, who is cuddling with the baby dragon, nods at my orders. I guess she'll listen to my words this time around. She does not protest against the slaying of innocent wild monsters. Her philosophy is closest to survival of the fittest. What exactly is she trying to accomplish? Your name is now Galian. Tanako. Don't go arbitrarily naming it. Naofumi. Kyua. Galian. The dragon chick cries out. Was that a yes, or a no? By the way, the villagers had also been trying to think of a name for the baby. However, after hearing that Tanako already gave it one, they lost interest. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 167, Peerless Transformation. Oh! A child with this talent is found only once every 100 years, Battle Instructor. Phui. Rishia. So I went to meet the battle instructor. I placed my hands in front of my face and looked down. Because of what I saw, Naofumi is doing a face palm. My head hurts. Why is this old hag rubbing Rishia's body? What an extravagant equipment she's wearing. The sentence refers to the musico or son, but it doesn't make any sense, so I just referred to the old hag. Correct me if I'm wrong. The old hag is wearing a Chinese-style doujie, so she is the battle instructor of the Peerless Transformation Style. Doujie is a martial arts uniform and Peerless Transformation Style if you translate it. But it is read as Henjin Musurayu, but whichever you prefer. Oh my, Saint Sama, it's been a long time, battle instructor. I've heard about you, but you are the battle instructor, right? Naofumi. Yes indeed, battle instructor. I shouldn't have asked, but I didn't want to admit it. I mean, I somehow understood it. But inside my head I instinctively refused to believe it. I think I've heard a similar voice back in Kalmyra Island. I also remember ignoring that voice. Saint Sama saved many lives, so I rushed over to help save the world, battle instructor. Alright, I understand, but why are you keeping Rishia in this place? Naofumi. Don't you understand, Saint Sama? Extraordinary talent is sleeping within this person. Her great qualities are suitable to be the next successor, battle instructor. Phui. Naofumi-san, please help me, Rishia. Recently, her favorite word seems to have been running out in a full throttle. Was it really that unpleasant? If I remember correctly, Rishia's been focusing on training and is now around LVL 65. Her status isn't very high. Also, her general status is inferior to Keel, who's only LVL 55. Her highest is only half as much. And if you compare it to Raphtalia, it's too terrible to look at. However, the level up speed is rather high. Still, in this world the slave training level up speed is different from each individual. To think that Rishia is some sort of a genius. I'm curious what LVL you are being the battle instructor. If I'm not mistaken, I remember them saying that your age is the same as your level, Naofumi. Oh, that brings back old memories. It's LVL 100. With further training I was able to push it through its limits, battle instructor. 100. The limit in this world is LVL 100? Is that so? The LVL limit is 100, Naofumi. I thought it was, but the limit of the Hakuko kind that is one of your slaves Iwatani Dano is 120. It is said that they are the strongest kind, female knight. According to the legend, the Hakuko kind is believed to exceed the normal class up, female knight. I think she was referring to second class up or not, but whatever. Female knight compliments Rishia. To have someone who is knowledgeable sure is convenient. I don't know anything about this world, and the slaves can't provide any useful information either. Only various knights and nobles can. What about the 4 saint heroes? Naofumi. There seems to be no limit, female knight. I see. So the heroes can exceed the LVL 100 limit, and the Hakuko kind is up to 120. However, there seems to be a method to break through the class up limit according to the legends. But that method is still unknown up to this day. That reminds me, where is Raphtalia? Naofumi. She's over there, Rishia. Raphtalia is sitting down, she looks completely exhausted. What's the matter? I can pretty much guess what happened. Are you alright? Naofumi. Yes. That old woman groped my entire body without my permission, she said that it was some form of tradition, Raphtalia. It's because you seemed strong, Naofumi. In LVL she is above Raphtalia. But I don't know in status. Earlier when I tried to move, nothing is happening, it was as if my movement has been suppressed. No matter how much strength I use I still can't move, Raphtalia. That's amazing, Naofumi. Was that a joint lock technique of some sort? It's a shame that I don't know something like that. Back in my own world this will be a typical otaku thing, since grappling anime is the one that is watched the most, TL, Baki the Grappler reference. Well, to hold down Raphtalia just like that, the one who cut the head of the spirit turtle together with Phiro, she must be a considerably strong person. I understand what Saint Sama is thinking, it is true that magic and status is the key to winning the battle. However, the true strength can only be measured by experience, battle instructor. Well, Naofumi. If a person cannot handle his strength properly, then you might say that it is useless in battle. I of all people knows it very well. Even high LVL ones can be a bunch of weak people in a party. True strength cannot be based with status. So, what weapon are you using? Naofumi. Before I used a hoe to fight, TL, not a person but an object. But it dismisses whenever I set it as a weapon. There is no specific weapon with Henjin Musa style, battle instructor. What? Naofumi. Henjin Musa style is an all-around combat art which utilizes a wide variety of weapons to fight different kinds of enemies, battle instructor. Then even a hoe is considered weapon too. It is a technique that does not specifically choose a weapon. How about testing Saint Sama's strength with mine? Battle instructor. Well, my body is still recovering because of the curse, Naofumi. Then will Saint Sama escape when a sudden occurrence were to happen because he is not ready? Battle instructor. No. Well, you could say that I have reliable companions to fight with, although the only thing that I could do is to defend, Naofumi. Well then, as a handicap I'll only use a wooden stick to hit you. A single blow should be okay, right? Saint Sama tried to endure the attack. Battle instructor. The old hag broke a branch of the bioplant and took a stance against me. It was almost a personal thing. I consider my abilities to be weak. Of all the people that I've encountered, Motoyasu is the strongest so far. Well, when Motoyasu and I fought, he was in offense and I am on defense, which will obviously only lead to a stalemate. He was a knight who pursues, except he was just a thief who robs the masses. I'll use the Soul Eater shield this time because it has the highest defense. The Spirit Turtle series is not that strong yet because the materials for enhancing is not enough. Well then, I'll start, battle instructor. The old hag jumped in front of me in an instant. However, this speed is something that I can deal with. I was able to react and put the shield where the wooden stick is coming from. With this I can lower the old hag's attack power. As expected of Saint Sama, you got accustomed to my movements in an instant, but how about this? Battle instructor. In spite of being just a stick, a shock ran through the shield. Naofumi. The shock transferred to my hand and then my body. Now it's reaching my abdomen. Gufu, Naofumi. It's a strike to the stomach which made me lose my strength. What now? One technique of the Henjin Musa style is used to beat people with high defense such as yourself. Saint Sama, battle instructor. My consciousness fading away, but I endured it and started chanting recovery magic. Tsuvedo heal. Naofumi. This power is the kind of skill that can carry damage in proportion to the defense of the object that it is to be touched by the stick, TL, so it was like a defense cancellation technique, just assuming things here. It's the kind of power that will be really fatal for me. To think that eagle-piercing shot could possibly exist somewhere. However, a reversal technique also exists, battle instructor. There is. Naofumi. Of course, and by all means I would like you to master those techniques, battle instructor. Understood, Naofumi. I understand that it is a powerful technique. She is an excellent battle instructor and she's not an enemy that I can possibly defeat. There's no reason for me to refuse and it'll be troublesome not to cooperate. Rather it'll be a great asset if it was taught to the slaves. So what should I do? Naofumi. Since Saint Sama already has fighting experience, I only need to explain the theory behind it. All you have to do is assess your opponent's internal spirit and inject your own magic power to cause a disturbance and make your opponent's magic power run wild. Hi. Naofumi. The image of a marble inside a vase that's shaking floats in my head. That kind of logic is not probably wrong. If you shake the vase very violently, sooner or later it'll break because the inside is hollow. To receive such an attack will definitely break me from the inside. To reverse the technique you just have to redirect the power outside of your body before it begins to get out of control, battle instructor. I see, Naofumi. In other words, I just need to let it go outside before the power begins to act violently. If you compare it to ceramics, it already has a hole, so do I just have to push it forward? Such things only happen in manga. Things became like such a fantasy. I can even summon a barrier from the shield. I understand the theory, but it seems really hard to do, Naofumi. Even though I have an idea on how it works, I still don't know how to do it. This old hag really is amazing. I understand. I now appoint you as the battle instructor of this village, Naofumi. Thank you very much, then I'll be in charge with this child and this girl who seems to be your right hand Saint Sama, battle instructor. Okay, Naofumi. Naofumi-sama. Raphtalia. Naofumi-san. Rishia. Rishia and Raphtalia are protesting. Do you not like it? But this person is really strong, Naofumi. You're right, Raphtalia. Do you want to be stronger? Then endure it, training by yourself will just get you nowhere, Naofumi. It's an opportunity to learn something. Because you are already close to reaching LVL 100, learning martial arts will make you even stronger. Raphtalia and Rishia both wants to become stronger. And I don't have a reason to hate that. Starting today things are about to get tough, battle instructor. You understood. Raphtalia. Phui. Rishia. Rishia is now LVL 75 after coming to that place, but originally she is just LVL 65. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 168, Alps. It seems that an amazing granny has arrived. Foal. Foal arrives carrying Atlas on his back. He's acting as if he is uninvolved. Raphtalia and the others have a level cap of 100, but these two can reach 120. It's true that having technique can balance out having low stats, but having high stats never hurts. What are you talking about? You're taking her lessons as well. Naofumi. Gee, Foal. Foal has recently been preoccupied with tending to Atlas, and he's been ignoring my orders. I don't know why, but he is behaving quite rebelliously towards me like Keel when she first got here. I was able to tame Keel with food, but it seems that won't work on this one. The younger sister Atlas's condition has improved quite a bit, and it seems a full recovery may be possible. Naofumi-sama, it's been a while. Atlas. It's only been 2.5 days, you know. Naofumi. And still we meet here and now. Naofumi-sama suddenly left, so I was feeling anxious. Atlas. Ah, so she was afraid that her medicine supply had disappeared. If I don't feed it to her personally, the effect decreases. Nununu, Foal. Foal begins staring at me menacingly. What's he so bitter about? Oi, little girl over there. Granny. The old woman approaches Atlas. She looks over her body. Please choose one student at a time, or I will be understaffed. Laddie, why are you carrying that girl around? Granny. She begins questioning Foal. And in response Foal shifts his glare to her. Isn't it obvious that Atlas is sick? From my point of view, it looks as if the granny is bullying the two siblings. I'm quite skeptical when it comes to the elderly. This trauma was probably brought about by trash. Atlas can neither see nor walk. Foal. Really? I don't sense that sort of aura from her. Can you have her stand up for a second? Granny. Don't screw with me. Atlas can't full. Dear brother, let me try it. Atlas. I got it. Full. Full slowly lowers Atlas, and grasps her arms to steady her. Well. I don't think anything will come of this. This may be a world of magic, but there are some wounds that won't heal so easily. Naofumi-sama, if I may ask for your assistance. Atlas. Ah, got it. Naofumi. She won't be able to stand anyways. Someone with as weak a constitution as her won't recover this fast. The Yggdrasil medicine can't be that effective. This old woman's standing right in front of us. Perhaps the medicine will work. Hup, Atlas. Atlas uses me and Foal's hands, and manages to stand. Wow. Is this what it means to stand on one's own feet? Atlas. Ah. Atlas is. Atlas is standing. Foal. What sort of girl from the Alps are you? TL, Heidi reference. If I never asked Foal for his name, I would have given him the nickname Alps here. And I would have stuck to it to the end. Like with Tanako. Now that I wink about it, I don't know Tanako's real name. But I have no real intention to learn it. And I don't really care. Atlas slowly starts walking while teetering from side to side. She smiles. Thank you, Naofumi-sama, Ani-sama. Atlas. Atlas, you've become healthy, Full. Yes, Ani-sama. Atlas. Her condition was horrible, but she has recovered to this extent. That medicine really is miraculous. It worked for the old woman and now Atlas. And so Naofumi-sama, what should we do from now? Atlas. Let's see. I plan to have your brother fight for me. He's been leveling up with the others, right? Naofumi. Yes, Ani-sama has been diligently leveling with the others. Atlas. So what do you want to do? Naofumi. Even if she can walk, I don't think I can count on her for hard labor. Atlas is also a Hakuko, so she can reach level 120. I also wish to learn how to fight. Atlas. Atlas. You don't have to do that. Foal. Foal of the Alps shouts out. But of course he will prevent his sick sister from participating in battle. No. I've wished this since I was small. If I was ever able to walk, then I wouldn't want to be the one who just got protected all the time. I want to protect you too. Atlas. But, Foal. Atlas's strong will seems to have gotten through to Alps. If I keep thinking of him as Alps, I may end up saying it out loud and getting whacked. I'll stick with Foal for now. Tanako? No idea. And so, Naofumi-sama, please let me fight as well. Please let me level up with everyone. Atlas. Understood. So Foal, what will you do? Naofumi. I'll fight. Protecting Atlas is my duty. Foal. No, I wasn't asking about that. I explained the powers granted unto me by my shield's growth correction abilities. And so if you want to truly become stronger, it will probably be best to reset your level. What will you do? Naofumi. That's, Foal. With the growth corrections, Atlas may surpass you someday. Naofumi. My words seem to have affected him. I want to win against Ani-sama. Atlas. Nu, Foal. Foal hesitates and stares at Atlas's face. I guess it will be painful for him if his precious sister gets beat up on the battlefield. He seems to have come to a decision. I got it. I'll reset. Foal. You seem to be discussing something interesting. Sadhana. Sadhana suddenly appears. I wonder if I should do it as well. Sadhana. Fumo, Naofumi. I was going to the Dragon Hourglass anyways, so I don't mind. We'll be leaving immediately. Military instructor, please help Raphatalia and Rishia. Naofumi. I understand. Granny. Sadhana is large, so we'll have to couple a cart to the carriage. Oh, right. Are the Lemos here? Naofumi. What is it? Lemo. The Lemos gather. Are you people raising your levels as well? Naofumi. Yes, most of us were already over level 30 when we got here. Imaya's uncle. Imaya's uncle begins explanations. I see, then anyone here who wants to learn blacksmithing, come with me. Naofumi. Blacksmithery? Then I'll go. Imaya's uncle. Imaya's uncle raises his hand. What? I've already put the basics to heart. Imaya's uncle. I see, then come along. Naofumi. Understood. Imaya's uncle. While we're gone, everyone can dig burrows for themselves. Does anyone specialize in that field? Naofumi. Everyone is quite skilled in that aspect. Imaya's uncle. Got it. Naofumi. It seems that at least that area will finish without a hitch. Where is Imaya, anyways? Naofumi. Imaya is currently at the clothing maker's place to learn how to make clothing. Is that alright with you? Imaya's uncle. I have no issues. Tell her that she can learn freely. Naofumi. Yes. Imaya's uncle. Imaya's developed an interest in making clothes. If I leave it to the tailor, it should be fine. It seems that the people of my village will finally be able to wear decent clothes soon. Oi, why are you wearing a loincloth? Naofumi. Sadana appears wearing a loincloth. She's also wearing a vest, but that doesn't make her appearance any less strange. She's also given one to Keel, and she walks around in it. It's aesthetically terrible. It's up to Imaya to prevent this town from turning into one of loincloths. Personal tastes. Sadana. Sadana offers a brief reply. I'm home. Melty-chan was busy so she rejected me. Phiro. Phiro comes back from the neighboring village at the right time. I call her over. Then what shall I do? Atlas. Atlas, who we are leaving behind, calls out. It's good that she's motivated to work. Foal is coming to the castle town with us to reset his level, but Atlas was level 1 from the beginning. Military advisor, what do you think of this girl? Can we send her off to level in this state? Naofumi. Her battle senses are of genius levels. She has learned to sense presence even without my teachings. It will be fine to throw her into battle now. Granny. Quit spouting crap. Treat her more carefully. Foal. Foal snapped. Whenever I meet him he seems angry. Though I'm not one to speak. What's wrong? Phiro. Phiro-san, it seems that Oni-sama does not wish to send me into battle. Atlas. Is Atlas-chan strong? Phiro. No idea. Atlas. Try punching Phiro. Phiro. Phiro tries to act as Atlas's senior and presents herself for Atlas's attack. Ah. Sure. Atlas. Atlas closes her fist, and hits it against Phiro's chest. It lets out quite a nice sound. The next moment leaves me speechless. Phiro. Phiro does a somersault and falls flat on the ground. It's the real deal. Atlas-chan's punch really hurt. Master, please heal me, Phiro. With teary eyes, Phiro stares at me. Is she acting? That was a terrible performance. I just slightly disrupted the flow of the massive power within Phiro. Did it hurt that much? Atlas. Yeah, Phiro. I'm sorry. Atlas. No, I'm fine. It doesn't hurt anymore. Phiro. Stop it with the jokes, monster girl. Stop trying to send my sister into battle. Foal. Atlas-chan, punch him. Phiro. Yes. Atlas. On Phiro's order, Atlas smacks her fist into her brother's chest. Foal makes no attempt to block, and takes the attack head-on. Kaha, Foal. He lets out a loud sound and falls to his knees. He seems to be tearing up. I didn't feel anything so. Please stay home. Foal. You're obviously pushing it, Naofumi. This is actually quite amazing. How did she manage to inflict damage on Foal and Phiro? Is she able to sense something else because she can't see? She's stronger than her brother. If she grows from here, she may turn out to be amazing. As expected of the Hakuko race. This was an unexpected development in a good way. The old woman should get to work on her immediately. Well, just go level in a way that doesn't put yourself in too much danger. We're off to go level. Reset. Naofumi. Yes. Atlas. I still don't approve of you making Atlas fight. Foal. Oni-sama, no matter what you say, I want to fight. Please follow Naofumi-sama's directions. Atlas. But, Full. Phiro, grab Full. We're going. Naofumi. Yet. Phiro. Phiro grabs the resisting Full. The other slaves prepare for the harsh trip. Level up the dragon chick with you. Now then, we're off. Naofumi. See you soon, Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Yeah, I'll be back soon. Naofumi. Raphatalia's always seems to be seeing me off, but I've never had the opportunity of seeing her off. But there's no need for me to mull over it. And so I took the slaves that wanted to level reset, and those that wanted to learn from the old man, to the castle town. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 169, Weapon Shop Owner and Apprentice. Ya. Phiro. Phiro Tee. Motoyasu. I saw Motoyasu off with a sigh as he flew off into space for the third time today. He'll probably arrive ahead of us with his transfer skill, but she did well. As I thought, being with the hero of the Shield Sama is entertaining, Sadhana. Sadhana cackled with laughter at the sight of Motoyasu flying into space. I feel like she was always laughing, but was that just my imagination? Even Foal screamed in the beginning. T/N, when he first saw Motoyasu go flying. I also saw the other guys drawing away, but Sadhana was the only one who laughed so readily. Was she someone who laughs easily? How should I say it? I think it's too much. Oh well, one way or another, the castle came into view. Foal looked to be suffering from very bad motion sickness, but we were nearly at our destination. Returning with the transfer skill, I didn't register my land or anything, so for the time being it's not an option. Well, I have various things to do in the castle, so it's fine. Before we enter the castle town, I stop the carriage at the village nearby, like always. Are we walking from here? Sadhana. Phiro and I are famous, we stand out whenever we enter the castle town. Naofumi. Well then, wouldn't it be better for Fulkun to conceal himself as well, for the same reason? Sadhana. Why? Naofumi. Melromark has been in a feud with Siltwelt for a long time, you know? And the Hakuko species is renowned because of it. Sadhana. There's some truth in that. His appearance may be noteworthy. My kind is not seen very often, but it's fine since we're not well known. Sadhana. I see. Naofumi. It seems kind of stupid. We might stand out for a different reason, but let's just go as eccentric adventurers. It seems that the limo slave was fine for the same reason. We were just going to leave him at the old man's place. It was Emiya's uncle. Was his a docile species? Come to think of it, I haven't been fighting at all lately. I'm afraid my senses seem to be dulling. I should also do some training exercises with the battle instructor. Phiro kept a restless look out of our surroundings as she walked behind me. Did she really hate Motoyasu that much? If she hated him, she shouldn't have given him such kind words. I really didn't want to tell her, but she should be more secretive about this fear. What will you do when Motoyasu proceeds to the village? We entered the castle town as I thought that it would probably be good to ask the queen to prepare for the level reset first. Or, should I turn the slave over to the old man before that? Well, we pass the old man's shop on the way to the castle, so the delegation is probably better. Oh, laddie. Oyaji. When we entered the weapon shop, the old man was standing at the counter as usual. The shop seems to have settled down and stabilized. Well, I had confidence in the old man's business. How is it? Is there any progress? Naofumi. Not at all. The ore from the spirit turtle also has the characteristic of being tough. Oyaji. Naofumi. That part is very challenging right now, but I'm researching everything I can. Oyaji. I see. Which reminds me, in Zeltbur Naofumi. I told the old man about the spirit turtle sword I saw in Zeltbur. In any case, I could tell that it was a sword made by a skilled craftsman at a single glance. If you say so, it must have been quite a sword. I can probably tell who made it or how they made it just by looking at it, but, Oyaji, I'd need to bring it here? Forgive me, but such an expensive weapon is beyond me. Naofumi. If I sell the weapons made by the old man, I could probably get a bit of money, but that would be like putting the cart before the horse. Speaking of which, I also have the option of selling the rare or unique weapons gained from the drops. Since they're unusual, I should be able to get a good price for them. I'll think about it. Oh right, I thought about who I should make your apprentice and brought the slave. Naofumi. Who is it? Oyaji. I pointed to Emiya's uncle among the slaves I brought. For a while now, I feel like I know you, but is that just my imagination? Oyaji. The old man inquired while pointing at Emiya's uncle. Why, it's been a long time. It looks like you've graduated properly from the master's place. Emiya's uncle. As I thought. Oyaji. Your acquaintances. Naofumi. Yet. Oyaji. From the past. Emiya's uncle. It seems that Emiya's uncle and the old man from the weapon shop were fellow disciples under the same craftsman when they were younger. Even if I say that, I dropped out in the middle. There were a lot of troubles at home and we had to raise Emiya and the other children. Emiya's uncle. The management was completely screwed up back then. Oyaji. Despite being craftsmen. Naofumi. It was a somewhat ridiculous story. Whenever there was a huge discussion, it'd be about women. My master was obsessed with love. Emiya's uncle. It seems like the master was similar to Motoyasu. In my head, the old man's master turned into Motoyasu. Although, the Motoyasu I know has already turned into a pyromaniac. What kind of life did Emiya's uncle go through? Emiya also became a slave. I really don't know any details. A wave similar to Raphtalia's was considered strange, since it was huge. Speaking of which, how did you and Emiya become slaves? Naofumi. We were forced into slavery after being caught by slave hunters. During that time, quite a lot of corpses appeared and the village was also ruined. The only survivors are the ones with the hero of the shield Sama. Emiya's uncle. I see, there was also that kind of pattern. Raphtalia also experienced something similar. The orphaned Emiya seems so happy now. I feel that I also want to lend my strength to the hero of the shield Sama, Emiya's uncle. The circumstances behind the slavery were things such as being sold by parents, having no relatives or slave hunting. Sadana's reason was the same, being caught by slave hunters. Then what about Foal? What about you? Naofumi. I couldn't pay for Atla's medical fees and we were also burdened with debt. Foal. So it seems I'll receive a bill. Naofumi. Should I sell him depending on the amount of money? No, there's also the medicine costs. This guy owes me quite a debt. As far as I know, it disappeared when we were presented to you. Foal. I see, that's good. Naofumi. Those slave dealers. So that part was given as a service. Originally I worked and fought, the debt was gone, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to buy medicine. Foal. I see. Naofumi. Atla should have been able to have a more normal life. At the very least, she shouldn't have had to suffer from her illness. Foal. What kind of background did you have? Naofumi. Who knows? I only know that grandfather was amazing. My parents were lost in the war when we were young, but I think they were also pretty influential. There were a lot of people who helped around. Foal. What about servants to put on your clothes? Naofumi. We didn't have those kinds of guys. But since we couldn't pay, our household belongings were distributed and we parted. Foal. Ruined by medical fees, hi. To have loyal subordinates and stuff, what kind of noble were you? Where did you live? Naofumi. Why do I have to tell you that much? Foal. Well, that's true. Naofumi. Worrying about the background of this heroish guy, my mind was dwelling on something inconsequential. Well, since you're already acquainted, it simplifies things. Naofumi. Well, that's true, but I never thought the smithing place I would be employed at would be yours. Emiya's uncle. I was also surprised. I'm taking in an apprentice due to Laddie's request, but, well, you're a fine partner, so isn't it good? Oyaji. How nostalgic. It brings back the past. Emiya's uncle. Including lodging fees, how much should I pay? Naofumi. It includes boarding, right? If I can work him hard then I don't need it. Oyaji. I'm grateful for your generosity. Naofumi. Hey, stop saying stuff like working me to death. Emiya's uncle. He's become sturdier than normal demi-humans due to there being some correction. Will the old man also be Spartan when teaching? How should I say it, pipes or cigars would probably suit Emiya's uncle, but he doesn't smoke. He wears overalls and looks like a hillbilly. Well, whatever. I'll have you work to a similar standard as we did in the past. Oyaji. That would kill me. Emiya's uncle. Ha ha ha, it's not as bad as you think. Oyaji. And with that, they started work as the old man chatted with Emiya's uncle. It looks like it will be fine if it's like this. Well, we've got some errands to do. Naofumi. Alright, I'll beat the shop's business into this guy. Oyaji. I want you to teach me how to beat the techniques into this guy, so won't you come to my land? Naofumi. Depending on whether his skills rival the old man or if they're just at the level of a salesperson, we'll be able to have weapons and armor made for the village. I haven't really thought about it. For now, I have to see how capable he is. Oyaji. I haven't done much. Only as far as continuing to do a bit of metal work. Emiya's uncle. A modest attitude. I'll have you show me how well you swing your hammer. Oyaji. Look forward to it. Emiya's uncle. It feels like a reunion between long-term friends. It's not bad. Well then, I'll come again if anything happens. If you need me, just contact the village or the castle. Naofumi. I know, laddie. Oyaji. I'll work hard to learn the work, hero of the shield Sama. Emiya's uncle. And like this, we left the weapon store behind. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 170, Trash and Hakuko. Wow! It's been a long time since I came here. The castle town has greatly changed. Sadana. You have visited this place before. Naofumi. Oh yes, once during Melromark's National Day. Sadana. Sadana answers me while looking at the mountain of the spirit turtle. Reconstruction is progressing further than before. The impression of ruin has weakened considerably. That said, what about the shell of the spirit turtle? It's good to see that the trees are being cut and the reclamation is advancing. As the saying goes, human beings are strong. We are working hard trying to overcome the disaster. Where do you want to go now? TL, not sure who says this line. I'll go to the castle at once. Since we came suddenly, the preparations for the level reset have not been done. Naofumi. I do not think there is no possibility that Shadow's information network or the female knight sent ahead information about my coming, but I will meet Queen for the time being. Unlike a class up, a reset can't be done normally. It's the castle. I've seen it, but I have never entered before. Anon Slave 1. Yes. Me too. Anon Slave 2. That should be about right. Naofumi. Demi-humans and beastmen are not welcome in the castle of a country which practices human supremacy. It is not that good of a place. Keel. I guess. Naofumi. I said while heading towards the castle. Fyro is still looking around the area restlessly. If Motoyasu is here, we will know. You're too cautious. Naofumi. Fyro knows, that's why Fyro's still like this. Fyro. Being overtly cautious has its weaknesses too. But even if I startle her, it would have the opposite effect. In addition, I don't think Motoyasu would come to the castle town because of the warrant for his arrest. When you're a known face in this town, it's impossible to hide. He does not have the skills to hide like Raphatalia, and he is dependent on crystals for magic. Until he finally acquires the skills to hide, based on his past behavior, he will continue to foolishly come directly charging at Fyro. Well, don't worry about it. Naofumi. Moyu, Fyro. We pass by the castle gates while chatting. The gatekeeper lets me through after I have taken my robe off to show my face, though there is a subtle change in his face when he sees Sadana. Is that bitter face made for Sadana, who is obviously a beastman? Ah, back when I was summoned as a hero at the victory party after the first wave was over. Weren't there considerably few demi-humans there? The demi-humans have a low status in this country. I have realized it a few times before. The strong sense of discrimination is so deeply rooted that even the queen admitted to it. By the way, where is the queen? Naofumi. Are you playing a staring game with the documents in your office? I ask about the Queen's whereabouts to a servant. It looks like she's in the middle of conducting official business, but that seems like a stalling tactic because she knew I was coming. Will she come if I wait? Oh, I'll just rest here in the castle's garden. Wait here. Naofumi. Foal. Foal is wriggling uncomfortably in his robe. Do you want to take it off here? Naofumi. Can I? Well then. Foal. Foal takes off his robe. Garan garan. TL, clanging sound. I hear a sound of something falling behind me. Turning around, I see Trash with his mouth hanging wide open while staring foolishly at me. And I wonder, is Trash still being forced to be the naked king? Moreover, there's a signboard attached to him that says do one lap around the castle as punishment. Do not get help no matter what, signed with the Queen's name. What is with this guy? Finally the shield has revealed his true colors. Trash. He declares loudly while pointing his finger at me. Come on everyone. It's time to erase the devil of the shield from this world. Trash. He comes running at me with the sign. While the soldiers standing around are dumbfounded, I am standing in front of Trash. And Trash is immediately suppressed. Let go of me. Shield, he is the devil, and he even brought a Hakuko 4 into the castle. Kill him. I hear some amazing threats from Trash about the Hakuko species. Some famous lines come out. Well, I have fun seeing Trash being overpowered. Why are you making a racket now? Queen. The Queen comes out while holding her head. Oh my wife. The devil of the shield is showing his true nature and has brought a Hakuko into the castle. Trash, TL, Hakuko means white tiger. Is that so? Queen. Is that so, that's all you have to say? Those aren't the words I expected to hear. Trash. The world is in crisis now. Dealing with the wave is more important than dwelling on bad history. It is the law of nature for the Hakuko to be with the shield, the god to the demi-humans. How could that make you angry? Queen. The Queen does not mince her words. It makes me think that regardless of whether or not you are being brainwashed, I feel uplifted here. Though I do not have a shield with such an effect. Yeah, I definitely don't. Guh. Even though you are my wife, I will not allow you to defend a Hakuko. Trash. I do not need your forgiveness. I cannot permit you to continue looking at the world with such clouded eyes forever. Take him away. Queen. Let go of me. Vulture, do not let that vulture take advantage. Trash, TL, he actually says the word eagle here. Trash is then taken somewhere else. That guy is noisy everywhere. Was that because of me? Foal. Don't worry. That guy's just crazy. Naofumi. Foal comes to me and asks while there is tension hanging in the air. Is that so? Foal. The law. I seem to have a mysterious relationship with the law of cause and effect. Naofumi. I mutter while the Queen looks at Foal. What is it? Foal. You. Perhaps the name of your grandfather is Tyrangiafion. Queen. Ah. That's right. However, what of it? What did my grandfather do? Foal. On hearing that, the Queen nods as she is convinced. By all means, please follow the shield hero. Your late grandfather would have been pleased. Queen. I don't know. Foal. Phew. Whenever I'm in the neighborhood, Foal becomes rebellious. Now he won't obey me. How do you know my grandfather? Foal. That person who was making those noises a while ago was an enemy of your grandfather. Queen. I see, what did you say? Foal. I am also surprised. How could you say that with such ease? Well, I will never forgive such selfishness. The thing about your grandfather, did you know? Queen. I didn't know at all. My parents never told me. Foal. Is that so? It was rude of me to say that. I ask that you do not mind. Queen. Foal has a subtle face. Are you anxious because you are in a position your parents never told you about? No, it is pretentious of me. I am going to take care of my own roots. Iwadani-sama, Are you facing any problems? How are you holding up? Queen. Well, I'm well. Naofumi. And your territory? Anything that happens reaches my ear. Queen. Both areas are having difficulty dealing with your daughter. Naofumi. In the end, is Melty useful? Queen. Well. I cannot leave the management of the town to her. Naofumi. Though it looks like due to the brat, the people of the town appear to have not faced many problems. I cannot say anything more because she has only just taken over the management for a few days. Can't you do anything about bitch, your other daughter? Or rather, I feel like murdering her the next time we meet. Naofumi. The thought of capitalizing on her information bounty fills me with a sweet feeling. We must take into account the possibility of that child crossing over the border together with Ren-sama and that other woman from the Spear Heroes party. Queen. When putting together Motoyasu's and Elena's stories, certainly there are other countries they could flee to. All in all, I would not be surprised if bitch attempts to pass through the border's barrier. However, if I were to guess methods she may use to break through it. Perhaps going over a mountain? That bitch? She would never go through such an undignified method to enter another counter. Smuggling? Or hiding in a cargo hold? Neither options would be acceptable for her. Can't you just smoke her out with the slave's crest? Naofumi. It's not possible. There is something interfering, Queen. Mew. Can I kill her? Naofumi. If possible, don't, Queen. Is it necessary to keep that girl alive and arrest her? Don't tell me it's because of the need to keep what she did hidden. More or less. To put it specifically, it's a means to avoid a war. Queen. Say what? Naofumi. It is that child hates from the bottom of her heart. As she escapes without its writhing, and refusing it, and eating, and being heated, and waving the eyes. Queen, ed, help, T_T. Ho, Naofumi. It's, Queen. Oh, I thought of something better. Queen. By all means, I would really like to enjoy the pleasant surprise of witnessing that moment while not knowing her fate beforehand. It seems I can have more fun mentally by making a Daruma doll. Even if the Daruma doll wears out. In this world, it can be cured so long as there is money due to the miracles of the recovery magic or alchemy. Is that so? Then this time, please tell me everything. Naofumi. Oh, it is better that you do not know everything by all means. Queen. But as punishment, for the sake of education, an iron brand should be firmly thrust in her. Naofumi. Does that sound good to you? Queen. How is that good? Foal. Foal squirms uncomfortably as though he is being branded. Because Raphatalia is not around, there is no helping it. And soon, it would be Raphatalia's turn to be squirmed too. I feel like I've become some stand-up comedian. I think he's making a joke here about plunging/thrusting the branding iron and putting Foal in an uncomfortable/unpleasant situation. I mean, I do not believe it's normal for a hero to be pleased with holding a branding iron like me. I do not think I want to change myself, but let's decide to hide the feeling inside a little bit more. However, the opponent is bitch. Considering all that has happened in the past, my thoughts should be justifiable. The woman that you hate, what kind of terrible person is she? Foal. Well, to give you an example, she's the type of person who would use your sister's body to commit various crimes, and once her use runs out, your crying sister would then be tossed away with a kick. Even as she laughs loudly. Naofumi. The victims are mainly Motoyasu and me. I'm sure the number of victims will grow until she is caught in the future, though. What did you say? Foal. Foal is enraged. Even if you're that angry, you don't have to grab me. That is something absolutely unforgivable. I will kill you before I allow such a thing to happen. Foal. Hey, it's me. We're discussing what bitch would do, not me. Naofumi. Why must you treat Atlas in such a way? Even though I'm considering selling you if you are worthless. It's the same thing. Foal. Yikes, my mind was read. Still, I do not laugh aloud. May I continue speaking? Queen. Ah. Naofumi. It's about the permission for the level reset this time. Queen. Did you already hear about it? Naofumi. It was within the reach of my ear. I have already made preparations for you to visit the hourglass of the Dragon's Era at any time. Please also go receive the sand at the same time. Queen. It would be convenient if the warp skill could be used for travel. Naofumi. By all means, please come to the castle at any time. That way, I can report any developments to Iwatani-sama as soon as they occur. Queen. I must go and meet the old man, and I paid a visit to the castle for the time being, so there shouldn't be a problem. Based on the stories I heard from Motoyasu, 6 people seems to be the limit. You should find out what further conditions there are in order to catch the other heroes. Queen. I understand. I think I will attend to your request for their capture as soon as the conditions are met. Moving on, there is the issue about the spear hero. Naofumi. That, Fyro. Fyro leans back with a wince and hides under my robe. I do not encourage it because it is unpleasant under there. It should be possible for a slave, but the slave crest does not have an effect on a hero. Queen. So it seems. Looks like I'll have to persuade them once I catch them. Naofumi. Thank you. We will also investigate anything that has to do with the sword hero. Queen. Because it has something to do with bitch, there is an unpleasant feeling that's attached to it. That woman. What on earth happened to make her grow up into such a character? Though I didn't want to know about it for obvious reasons, I wonder how she turned out that way. Hey, do you know why bitch became like that? A genius at lying, spitting insults, and manipulating people. Naofumi. She inherited a few qualities from Trash and me. Perhaps the reason is because Trash spoiled her while she was growing up. Queen. Is it the fault of Trash? I mean, you should have been aware of her bad personality. Oh, I'm also aware that I have a bad personality. As for that person, his daughter remained the apple of his eye even though she hurt others, and in the end they both became fools. Queen. The Queen speaks with distant eyes. This not the time for you to start reminiscing. Many times have I tried to fix her bad personality. I even let her study abroad in a school in Fabure to learn cultures. But the result was, Fabure is the most powerful country. The hero summons was originally supposed to be performed here. School of the bitch. I really don't want to see it in my life. By the way, it was at the school in Fabure that child graduated from her virgin status. Queen. The bitch's past is not something I give a damn about. Naofumi. It really did not matter.